Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Cellar Club Podcast, drop that beat. A new day, a new week. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Anna, how are you?
I am fantastic. Well rested, unbothered, moisturized. It's great.
Wow. Well, timeline-wise, this is the
Little busy,
last month of this first quarter. So, what have
The end of the beginning, if you will.
The end of the beginning, correct. How many more days till Christmas? I'm just joking.
No. It's too soon.
Weather's getting better. I'm seeing the sun way more. It's not dark at 6 at night. And actually, by the time people are hearing this, it has been daylight saving, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
back.
Oh,
You are
man,
correct.
So that means we lose an hour.
We just sprung forward and we're all tired. A little extra tired, but we get more
I don't
sunshine,
think that's
right?
real. It's an hour. Do you? I mean, Glenn might
Yes.
for people that have kids.
I hate that.
Glenn's like, every
it
hour
throws me off
counts,
every
man.
time.
It shouldn't happen.
It
I
shouldn't.
think it's pointless, like, to have to be thrown off like that every time.
I feel like Eastern should. I think Eastern has the right to, just
But
because
why?
because it gets way darker because we're not like hit by, because like the West and because they're already behind.
But then that would be super weird if you're like the only ones doing it.
Well, it's not like it's like Arizona. Arizona's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one
I like
time,
that.
weren't there parts of Indiana that didn't do it at one time?
Yes, there is.
But
they
I don't
they
know what's
stick
up
with
with that.
one
They just yeah.
time zone, like and but either way they become Eastern or Central still, because. But you know, if you
Right.
think about it, if
It's like-
if West Coast up to Central doesn't change and East Coast just change, that's just fine.
I think with the simplest way possible, yes. Just please keep it the same.
Yeah, we have lights, you know, we have electricity already.
And the cold's weird, and then it's kind of getting warmer, and then it's not, and
Yeah.
a lot of people getting sick. So it's just
Ooh.
like a weird timing right now.
You to everybody's listening, double dose in your vitamins and don't get sick.
And your pre-workouts and your regular workouts and everything else.
So I was wrong. I said we were gonna start it the first week of March, but our membership to Orange Theory actually kicks back up on the 9th.
Oh.
So I had one more week of lazy.
How was that?
Ooh,
Were you lazy at all
It's
during that
not
week?
actually. I feel like I've been just so we've been working on 2 shifts. So this is how our last 3 weeks have been. I would say it's been more structured the last week. We work 2 shifts. We have 2 shift jobs. So me and JC have 2 shifts. So our first job is list and ship. That's what we do during the first part of the day. Usually now we've been waking up at like 8, which is good. At 9 we're starting. At 10 JC gets hungry, so I start cooking. And then I go on, then cook lunch, and then we go list around until 4. At 4 the business operation kind of shuts down, and then by
The party
7,
starts.
by 7 the organizing starts, because more than ever I get like what do you call that, I get overwhelmed and get like the feeling of like I don't know where to start if the place is kind of like, you know, cluttered, because
Yeah.
you know, especially when you're listing, you're focused on speed and, you know, getting as much done, and then things are just jumbled around. And
Now,
then
is
also,
that like the aftermath from the listing you just did? Is it resetting so that the next day it's all
Yeah,
neat and clean? Like, is it
both?
both?
It is both, because our goal is to not have any inventory on the floor, basically, right? Like, so either putting it in boxes or stacking it in bins or in racks.
Gotcha.
So we still have about like 20% of our inventory that's still upstairs.
Yeah.
Our goal is to bring it downstairs, but we cannot. Our goal is not bring anything downstairs until everything downstairs is listed. So that has been my update. What about you, Glenn?
Update, just same thing. Listing, sorting, rinse and repeat. I mean, Whatnot has been pretty good. I'm trying to do some different things to, I guess, spice it up a bit. Trying to go back to longer shows to.
Oh,
just
longer, not an hour anymore.
No, because
What?
I guess like.
The people need you.
Maybe the start of the year it was really slow, kind of. I was like, okay, well, people are rebuilding from the holidays,
Right.
so plus I'm going through all my inventory, and then the shows were just like okay. And I think what happened was doing like buyers giveies.
Mm-hmm.
People really weren't feeling it. Maybe
Oh.
it just seemed like I was getting maybe like 120 people, and even I was giving away like jerseys for buyers giveies and pretty cool stuff. It just wasn't really, I don't know, hitting for some reason.
So they like it just regular giveaway, not a buyer's giveaway?
Well, that's when I switched. And I'm like, you know what? No buyers givey, and let me give away like equal value to those 2 jerseys I was doing, and just give away like fire free giveys throughout the whole show,
Okay.
and see if that helps.
Okay, why is this the first time I'm hearing them called giveies? That's cracking me up. First of
No,
all.
Glenn's becoming a whatnotter.
Oh,
He's evolving to a full streamer.
that is just hysterical.
Yeah. Givey. And then there's Givey goblins.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
the goblins. And you know what? That sucked too, because one of the shows I gave away Nintendo Switch, and
Ooh.
yeah, one of the
Givey goblins got him?
Givey Goblin, what are they called? Form fillers got one.
Oh,
Oh.
form fillers.
Boo.
The
So
worst.
for everybody that doesn't understand,
Me.
it is actually illegal to make a giveaway that requires a purchase
Yes.
only, right? So there has to be an alternative way
That's
to
why
enter.
it's always like no purchase necessary, right?
Right.
Any kind
Exactly.
of.
So there's a form that you can fill up that you can enter the giveaway. Oh my gosh! So the guy that filled out a person that filled out the form won the. Oh, I would
Yeah.
be so. I would have given him a Nintendo Switch box.
So
I was trying
would.
to keep my cool, but
I would call that
dude,
person
did the
a
chat
formie.
lose it?
That's
the chat
terrible.
didn't know.
Oh,
The
they
chat didn't know that this person did not buy anything, and if
You
they
didn't
did,
throw them to the chat wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Glenn
exactly.
would have.
That's so
Glenn
funny.
would have gotten tomatoes
yeah,
if they did. Yeah, that's smart that you didn't
Man.
say anything.
yeah, I was just like, oh, congrats and stuff. But then I was like, I don't think they bought. I don't remember saying this name earlier.
Yeah,
'Cause you see
yeah.
the same names.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me double check this after the show. And sure enough, they had one item for me to ship, and that was a Nintendo Switch. So that one was rough.
Ouchie.
Then you actually had to pay a full label for that because
Yeah,
it didn't
exactly.
go.
I have to pay shipping.
Insult to injury.
Yeah.
Golly,
I know.
Ned, that's terrible.
So okay, going back.
My
So the regular
condolences.
giveaway is doing better now.
Yeah, I've noticed like a lot
it
of
helped.
first time purchases, so that really helped me.
Mm.
And then Tuesday, so I changed my title. I said like next level for snapbacks. Like, so it's like I told them beefier show, better giveaways, better hats. You know,
Man.
trying to get better stuff. And then I almost had 225 people throughout the entire show.
Man,
So-
Glenn's understanding the lingo now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, I just heard
beefy,
a
next
vegan
level.
say beefier. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know.
Beefier.
That's not vegan. Come on
Yeah,
now.
that's
I
not
mean,
vegan.
tofu ear doesn't really do
Yeah.
it. So.
True. Okay,
The language is the language, you know.
Exactly. So Kenny,
my
whenever
gosh.
you're ready to jump on, I can raid you with 200 people.
Oh wow!
And you just hit the ground running, just selling.
Man,
And
That is
so
so funny.
I also wanted to throw in though that well, have we talked about our news section yet, or we just go with Anna and then we'll talk about the news?
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. Anna, go ahead. Tell us what you're
Well,
working on.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I also have a story for you, and then I will tell you what I'm working on. I promise. I met a reseller I had never met before.
Oh yeah, tell us about this.
I
haven't talked to him about
know
this.
he's
Okay.
a sneaker seller, not from like super local area, but like I'll just say from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into him, struck up a conversation, and somehow he only sells on eBay, I think, or he mostly sells on eBay, maybe. So we were talking about eBay, and I asked him, if he goes to any meetups or anything like that, and he was like, no, like I watch YouTube and blah blah. And I'm like, well, he sells sneakers. So I'm like, Hustler Hacks. And he was like, oh yeah, I watched him for years or whatever. And I was like,
oh yeah, what happened to that guy?
I was like, well,
He used to be a seller.
it was so funny because we had already talked about the podcast a little bit. Like
Okay.
so it had already come up in the conversation, and he was
So
like,
he
"Oh,
doesn't
that's so
know.
cool."
He doesn't know.
Well,
about the
I was
podcast?
referring to you like Ken and Glenn, right? Like,
Mhm.
and so I was like, "Well, that's the Glenn I was just talking about." And he was like, "Oh, really?" Like, it was so funny. I was like, "Wow, you really are famous." So
No,
just had to give you, just had to give you props there. You
Oh,
transcend
thank you.
time and space as well. So congratulations.
Hilarious.
But it was really fun. And perhaps
did you
you gave
check-
me a
did
little
you-
bit
did you
more
check
credibility by being
Did
associated.
you check what he was buying? Was it good or bad?
He was being very picky.
Oh,
and
okay.
actually-
he's definitely a hustler hack.
Yes, and he was. It's really funny. There wasn't much. We were both in sourcing mode where we ran
Yeah.
into each other, and there was like one thing that actually both of us picked, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I noticed you got the only other one of these that was around," and I was like, "Yes, I did."
So it was a
And,
nod to like
not-
what you're looking for.
Yeah. But it was really good. It was really fun to meet him, and I encouraged him to like get involved with the seller community because
Right.
I was kind of telling him my story of living under a rock for so long and then being dragged out and realizing this is so great. There's so much more to grow and learn, and also just friendships to have that you wouldn't have otherwise had. So
Yeah.
it was just a cool little interaction. But yeah, Hustler Hacks fame brought us together even more. It was so funny.
That was hilarious.
I was tickled. I immediately told Ken about it. I don't know why I didn't tell you, because I wanted to tell you on the air, I guess.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Get
you
your-
should have.
get your
you should
reaction.
have,
no, I
you
love
should
that
have-
story. I love
Yeah,
that.
Should
it
have
was great.
sent Glenn a selfie or something like that.
That's
I
awesome.
I know. I wasn't
Apparently,
thinking.
apparently we've met him already.
You've met him, yeah. You've met him.
I
Like,
have.
maybe once, yeah. You and JC, yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So see.
so maybe somewhere down the road. But that's why we need to get back Glenn back on the road.
Oh,
I
man,
know.
start touring.
I know.
On tour.
Well, I will protect his privacy for now, but I know his name, so
Okay.
Okay.
You know.
He's safer now.
I
but-
can
yeah,
find
I
him.
see.
If he wants to be spoken
can
about
find
by
him.
name, I'll find out and we'll talk
okay.
about him. But
Okay.
yeah, he was really cool. So you
That's
know who
good.
you are, mystery.
That's
seller.
good to
Mr.
have
You.
a
Yeah.
have a cool reseller around you, because
Yeah.
you don't want those other ones that just run around and act weird.
No, he was really cool.
Competes.
He was really chill also, and not like weirdly competitive or like
Yeah.
I don't know. People and their personalities can be a little much sometimes, but he was very cool. Okay, so what am I up to? Lots of listing. I will say, since I've been doing a lot more retail ARB stuff this year, the magic of multiple quantity has not worn off for me yet. I have gotten so much more listed this week than I expected to, because I think I'm just hardwired to still think of everything as a one-off when it's really not anymore, at least in this batch of stuff that I'm working on. So
Yeah,
that
'cause
has been...
you don't count quantity as a listing, Anna.
I know. That's what I'm saying
I
though.
know.
Like the volume of bins of stuff that are getting
Okay,
listed
okay.
is like, oh wow, I got through all of this stuff already, and it's only X number of listings.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's the number of listings still tracks, but it just feels like way more stuff because
Yeah.
of the multiples. So, and I'm not like super deep on anything either. It's just magical to me.
Yeah.
Even if I have like 5 of something.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 3 or 4,
Yeah.
that's a lot already.
Yeah.
Compared to just having to take a photo of it
Each
4
one
or
of
5
them.
times. Yeah.
I know. So anyway, that's been great, but I've been working on that, and that's been pleasantly surprising that I mean, I feel like I've been a little strapped for time in spite of like trying really hard to block off more time than usual to get all this done. Because I really just want to get through the whole pile and not have stuff sitting there. So yeah, it's taken all the time that I could manage to give it, but I've gotten way more done than I expected each time that I've been able to spend time on it. So that's been great. One other thing that I have finally started doing again is bidding on estate auctions, like local estate auctions, which is one of my favorite ways of sourcing like one-off unique vintage stuff. And especially I find it's a good way to like find things that are a little more valuable because they were, you know, worth putting in an auction. You can research them in advance of bidding on them. Like you can't always see every little thing about the condition, but a lot of times it doesn't matter a lot. You can get enough of a general sense that you know what you're getting for the most part. So that's kind of fun. It's my first one of the year that I'm actually bidding on. I've kind of looked at some and not seen anything too crazy and or just was too occupied with this big inventory haul I've been working on. But I'm finally like committed to going and picking stuff up at an auction because I started bidding on one this week. So that's kind of exciting. And I am excited about the stuff that I've found. I really like doing kind of like haul video type of stuff with vintage stuff because it's so interesting, or I find it so interesting, and I like watching videos like that. So I'm excited to like put some of that on my social media and show like these quirky things that hopefully I'll get the things that I want, you know, but
unique vintage items.
Yeah. And like, that's the way I want to focus on, like used or vintage going forward. Like I want to be really, really picky about it and be able to like more so showcase these like really cool, unique pieces, and less about volume, especially on that side of the store. So that was just a big step for me. I can't believe it took me till March to start getting back into that. And it's almost yard sale season, and rummage sale season, which I'm also really excited about. And I'm still going to try to be really picky when I do that stuff. But it's just exciting because I really have, for the whole like lifespan of my store, I really enjoyed sourcing, and those are some of the kinds of sourcing that I really enjoy. And now I'm learning new ways of sourcing that I also enjoy, but it's just different. So this is a little like back to my roots and really fun.
Very nice.
That's pretty much it.
Right.
Yeah, also been shipping out a ton because sales have actually been really good. So I'll take it.
Also, speaking of eBay, I think this deserves a round of applause because we are finally back to having 100% feedback.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Right, so I'm back to
How
perfect
did that
again.
happen?
I know. So this is the crazy part is the negative feedback that this guy said that a size 10.5 Nike shoe fits like a 12.
Right.
That was the negative feedback that fell off the face of the earth.
Wow.
So, I
Which
think,
took a year, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, a year to get removed.
Man,
so-
it's a thorn in your side for a whole year.
I know. And then it was just like the worst. I feel like, I mean, at least criticize my shipping package or, you know, like not
Right.
like a lie of like, and the dude didn't even try to return it.
Yeah. I feel like
so
most
that's-
people would take every opportunity to be like, and I didn't like this, and I didn't like that, and they smelled funny. You know, like, just
but-
throw everything you can at
But it's
it.
not all
You're gonna
roses and butterfly
be
because
mad.
one of the things that I haven't told you guys that this guy opened a return, and we don't have a return policy, and this guy bought 2 hoodies. Right?
Wait, not the same guy from the feedback.
No, different
Just
guy.
some other guy.
Different
Okay.
customer, different
Got
customer.
it.
Customer bought 2 hoodies, complained, wanted to return because the size issue. I was like, nope, because there's measurements already. Declined the return, right? Next thing you know, open a case through his, what is it, financial institution, or basically open a chargeback on his bank. eBay held it. eBay held the funds. So I was like, weird, right?
You're like, okay.
So what, 5 to 8 weeks or something like that they have time to. It was long. Next thing you know, I got a package in my mail. The dude returned the hoodie. And in the back of my head, I was like, I'm just going to keep it in the package. I'm just going to be like, sweet, because eBay's going to side with me because it got delivered. This dude didn't go through the regular return process. Right?
Right.
A week later, the dude won the case. He got his money back.
How?
Right. He got his money back. And then eBay charged me $20 per transaction for the dispute fee.
What?
I have yet to talk to him.
Oh my gosh, you have to talk to him. What is that?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. So basically, right, let's say...
Did you force this guy to order and pay for hoodies from you?
I know.
Like, what on earth
it's
is
like
that?
you lost the case. Basically, eBay saying like, oh, we can't protect you from this skin, so you got to give the money back. Okay, cool.
But
right?
like $20.
And
What?
then $20 each. I got charged $40 for that.
Man, yeah, I
Come
would love
on
to.
now.
I would love to hear what the rationale for that is, or if that is the normal.
At this
process,
point,
'cause
I'd
I've
love
never
to
heard of
charge
that.
back everybody. I would love to charge back a $20 item every time.
Yeah,
'Cause that
I'm
means
very
free.
curious what that means. Like, that's bizarre. Okay,
So,
you have to follow up on that and let us know.
Yeah. So eBay, if you're listening to this podcast, give me a holla because I'm gonna be
eBay, our
talking.
darling sponsor. If you're listening to
Because
this podcast.
also make sure you follow them. But eBay for sellers
We
on
still love
Instagram.
you. But what is
Um,
that? That's weird. I've just never heard of that.
Yeah, I know. Like at least like give the money back, but not the $20 fee, right? Because like it's case by case, because it's a different transaction. And all of a sudden, $20 here, $20 here. Like, did I just lose? I say it. The $120. It was a $60 hoodie each, so $120 down. Gave it back, and then $40 back.
Yeah.
too.
So the refund happened, and there was a fee.
Yeah. And I'm like,
That's wild.
what? And then I
Yeah.
haven't even opened the package yet. I wonder if the guy actually returned the right item.
Oh my gosh, Ken, what are you doing? Go open it right now. We're
No.
gonna do an unboxing.
No.
Audio.
Live audio.
This is
audio.
what you want viral footage? This is gonna be like, I got scammed by eBay.
Oh my gosh, no.
The eBay scam with the eBay sided with the scammer.
Okay,
Scam.
I have a similar. It's not that similar. It didn't turn out the same way, but just speaking of like sideways weird returns and processes and all this stuff, I have talked to a friend of mine probably 4 times in the last week because he bought some like they're like big stage lights, 8 of them from a seller on eBay, and they arrived and they were shipped like horrendously in like 8 different boxes with like a sheet of bubble wrap. I think 1 or 2 of them maybe powered on. Only one of them actually worked all the way. And he like reached out to the seller and was like, "Hey, these don't work." Like
Right.
they're not for parts. They're not as is. Like they were literally supposed to work. And they didn't work at all except for maybe one partially or would power on or something like that. And so but the guy just like went off on my friend who bought them and was like, "Well, I'm not a lights person. I just like work at this facility that was getting rid of them and blah blah." And so he's like, "So you're just telling me like you don't even know if they worked, even though you listed them as like working, you
Working
shipped them."
condition.
Yes,
That
and
is
like
wild.
anyway, it was crazy. So they went back and forth, and so my friend was like, "What do I do
Just
about
return
this?"
it.
That's what I said. So I told him, here's the actual process. This is eBay's protocol for like when this happens. This should happen. You go open this case, and this
Item
happens,
not
and
as
this happens, and this
described.
happens.
They have to take it back.
That's right. And he said they don't have returns on. I'm like, that doesn't matter. It's not relevant if it's not as described. And it's definitely not. So eBay will have your back. Just do this, this, and that. Right. So I told him like, here's the next step you need to take. But this guy just kept on being like the worst. And he was like, he told my friend that he like had to pay for the shipping himself, and then like my friend was able to open the return case and look at like kind of the comments
Yeah.
or the history of the
history,
case,
yeah.
and the seller had told eBay that he had already provided a label,
But he didn't.
but then he told my friend, "No, you have to get your own label." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, fire
that
this guy!"
That actually could work, huh? Because you basically like kind of like, if you're out, let's say $100 on the item,
Yeah.
then you would feel like you would have to pay a $10 or $20 label just to get your
Yeah.
$100 back, right? Like,
right. Well, and if he could just pressure him enough to just do it
Yeah.
and just go outside the normal
Yeah, it's
process
like-
and get it over with,
Yeah.
then he wins, right? And I'm like, no, don't you dare. I'm like, you stick to the process. Like, you're gonna get your money back.
Yeah.
Like, he should have to pay for the label.
Right.
Like, this is
'Cause-
not gonna
'cause-
be your fault or your
Because
problem.
as a seller, you should say buy a label within eBay, or you can upload one,
Yes.
right? But so
But
basically, the
I
guy
think
said,
there is a selection where it's like, I already sent one in the mail or something like that. So, like, he chose the option that you can't be verified and doesn't have a tracking number attached to it.
"Oh,
So, yeah, it was really shady. But I was, like, telling my friend, like, I'm
who
so
is this
mad.
seller?"
I know. He's a mess. But I'm like,
He's
this
a
is why
mess.
people, have one experience. Like, good thing my friend already is, like, a regular eBay user. Or
Right,
this
right.
would
He's
probably
not
turn
like
him
a
off
newbie.
forever.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So, anyway, all that
Yeah,
to
'cause
say.
this guy's costing us
Yes.
this terrible seller is costing us some
Rep.
bad.
It's
some
really
rep,
bad.
Yeah. Wow.
But I told him, I'm so glad you reached out to me, because he's like, I'm so sorry to bother you with this. I'm like, no. I want to help you get through this, and I know how it's supposed to work, like, to the letter. So I'm really
Yeah.
glad that you can call me and ask me, because
Yeah.
you should not get screwed over in this situation.
Yeah.
Like, I will not let it happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was really kind of entertaining, but
Well,
ridiculous. Just ridiculous. But that wasn't eBay's fault. I was like, thank God for eBay's really clear
Process,
processes,
right,
in this
well,
situation.
because at the end of the day, right, like, customer will always have way more options to return.
Yeah.
Or has more power, because
Well,
at the end
and
of the day, right.
yeah, normally.
That's eBay's client too. Like,
Right.
that's their. So.
Yeah, their client, our customers. And I'm usually thinking about these issues from the seller side. So it was very
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
to walk through it with a buyer, like, in that way.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Huh.
fun stuff this week, guys.
Fun
So
stuff.
Glenn, on the
stuff.
do you have a brighter eBay news?
Well, we didn't get to talk about a
Oh, you
similar
have a
thing
news.
that me and Anna went through with eBay as far as selling an item, which at
Oh,
first, because I've
yes.
heard people say it on YouTube or on IG, like they double sold an item,
And you're like, yeah, you
Yeah.
disorganized slob. That was your
exactly.
fault.
I'm like, you don't even know what bin it's in. You know it's your fault.
How judgmental are we?
And then so when it happened to me, then I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, was this
something's
very
not right
recent?
here.
Was this recent?
Yes. I think it was like
we
4 or 5. No, maybe like last week. Sometime last week.
okay. We need to forward this to eBay.
Mine was
Anna,
literally yesterday.
Oh.
because they can look at history within
Yeah.
30 days. We need So okay. Go ahead.
So I'll
Wow.
explain my story and then Anna's
Yeah.
story, and they're very similar as far as what happened here. But
Yeah.
so it was a jersey that sold, and it was like a hockey jersey. Sold pretty good. I think it was like 140 something bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, cool, just normal process. Go to the bin, get it, and I'm like, this is not in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, maybe I made a mistake, and it's like a similar numbered bin or something. So
Right.
there I am going through it, and I'm like, what? No, you know what? I've seen this jersey before.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I think I sold this one, because a lot of these are just one-offs. I don't have unlimited inventory,
Right,
quantity 10 of each jersey, that's... And so I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And so I go back to my orders, and this thing sold 2 weeks prior. Unfortunately for less than the second time around. But
That's what happened when you take a little offer, Glenn.
and it sold, and I'm like, what? Okay, let me look at was it a return? Did it come back and I relisted it? What happened?
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, did this get returned? I don't remember that, but I might not.
And so I check it, and nope, it was delivered, positive feedback, everything was great. And I'm like, okay, now what do I do? Because it's sold again, and I know for a fact I didn't relist this because I only have one, and why would it get relisted and sold
Because
again?
also when you list it again, you will have an email, right? Like you listed
Yeah.
an item.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I always look for.
Oh, I have those turned off, so I don't get those.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm.
Huh. Do you have those, Glenn, on? Do you
Yeah,
have it on?
I get those
Okay.
too. But of
Yeah,
course,
I
when you
have
list
it
everything,
on.
it's like a ton coming in.
Yeah,
at
Yeah,
once.
that's why I turned them off.
No, I actually
When I was
have
listing
that.
1,000 things a month, I turned it off.
No,
was
I
like,
have
oh.
that for a reason for that.
Oh,
Because if you
fail
go
safe.
back to your history, right, you put the thing, you will see the.
But Ken, this isn't supposed to happen.
Exactly. Well, I'm just trying to prove a point that it's not me.
Right.
You
That
know
is
what I'm
a
saying?
good. That is a good safeguard.
Because well, also too, I don't want to look like a clown that I accidentally hit it and relisted it. Because when they look at the data log and they'd be like, "Oh, you listed this at this time when you were half asleep or half awake," and I didn't want to just open my mouth and
Yeah.
just...
So you want to quietly find out if you're a clown before you're a clown
Yes,
in
and
front
if
of
I'm
other
not a
people.
clown, I'm gonna be like, yes. You know, I'll be way more confident complaining about it.
Yeah, right.
That's me. Because there are missteps, and also there's two of us doing it.
Right. Yeah.
I proving a point that it's JC's fault, and then JC's proving a point that it's not her fault.
Yeah. She's going back to like, well, whose computer listed this?
Yeah. At this point, we start looking at the username, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And so I called them, and I'm like, let me see. Well, honestly, I think they were just gonna tell me, well, hey, you listed this again on this date at this time, and just to get me on it. And
So
I'm
you
like,
think they went and back? You think there was like enough time that they actually looked it up?
So they actually did look it up because I asked them, what should I do now? I don't have this item. I don't know
Yeah.
how it's sold again. And so they were like, okay, let's look into it. And then I give them the item number of the first one that sold, the second one that sold. So they
Do they
actually
have
put me
the
on
same?
hold for a decent
Different item number?
No, different item numbers.
Oh.
And
So
they were
not
looking,
relisted then.
Not relisted.
and they're like, what? Like they were kind of confused too. And so they're like, okay, well, we've actually had more than I guess, I don't know how many they said, but like I guess different sellers calling with the same type
Issue.
of error and issue.
Should have been me. I should have been one of them.
So I was like, what?
I
Okay,
haven't.
what do I do now then? And she's like, well, go ahead and cancel the order, and we'll be protecting you in this
From
matter
defect.
from the defect.
Oh, well,
and
wait.
they said
Round
that
of
this,
applause for
this
eBay.
error seems to be, for some reason, like a double listing on, but I don't know what or why certain items though. Made me wonder. Okay, so do I have to go back and check the other ones or?
Well,
Oh
and
no! Once they've done it to you, they should be like, hey, that's like me. Hey, you price matched this the last time, so you should be able to price match it this time.
I mean, it has to fall through the cracks somewhere because there's such good like actual double listings,
because
concurrent
they'll
double
catch you.
listings
Yeah,
stuff,
they'll
in
catch you.
place where it's like
Yeah.
almost impossible, right? To like,
To
I
double
mean, that's
list,
helped
yeah.
me avoid accidentally double listing something before.
Unless it
but if
was
it's
accidentally
not-
put as to quantity.
Yeah, but even then, it wouldn't be relisted with a
Well, if
new
it's
item
not
ID.
Right. Oh, this would be a cool question. If it's to quantity, is it a separate item ID?
No, because I don't think I think the listing doesn't actually get ended if you sell a quantity.
Yeah,
it just
that's
goes
true,
down
that's
when
true.
it stays the same listing, right?
Yeah, it's the same listing ID. Yeah.
So it would, something's up but I think the fact that this was something that sold in the past, so there is no concurrent active listing to flag the, whatever internal stuff tells you, hey, this is a double listing.
Yeah.
Because it's not a double listing because it's already been, it's gone. Like,
So, Anna,
that first
remember
one's
that
gone.
jacket that we sold that Jay-Z asked you if you have this size?
yes.
So it wasn't our fault.
So was that a double listing?
Possibly.
You should go back and look. The one that happened to me literally yesterday was also a jacket. But it was a vintage red jacket with white
So
trim
then it'd be
Kmart in the
impossible to have
60s.
multiple listings in those.
Correct.
Or multiple
It
quantity.
is the one and only time I have ever had that item. It sold in October. Like, I know all about it. And I have it in my own spreadsheets. I have it in my eBay sold, history. It was pretty recent. It was October. So you can still see all the information about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a completely one-off vintage item, and it got
Wow.
delivered, not returned or anything. So
Okay.
yeah,
So I guess what
it's
we could
a
advise,
mystery.
what we could advise, if something like this happens, make sure you just look it up. Make sure it's not your fault, and if it's not your fault, call eBay. And
Or just like
tell
have
them-
your clown shoes ready if you don't want to go to the trouble of looking
Yeah,
it up in
yeah.
advance,
If you
'cause
go
it might
barging
be
in
your
and just
fault.
completing, yeah. I always assume, and here's the thing. I mean, that's why when Glenn says it, I believe him, because he's always the guy that blames himself first.
Yeah.
Like like it's my fault. Oh, this is really not my fault. Like
Yeah.
you're really sure. And Anna's pretty legit too. I'm half and half. Sometimes I
I'm pretty
believe
legit.
myself.
Thanks.
Yeah, Anna's pretty legit. I'm half and half. Sometimes I believe it's somebody's fault. Sometimes it's
Well,
mine.
it's interesting, right? Because I feel like there's a razor's edge difference between taking radical responsibility and being like, I own it, mistakes
Or just
happen,
ignoring
whatever.
it.
But once you see the receipts, right? Once you see the receipts
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
know
yeah.
it's not your fault, then your responsibility slightly shifts over that razor's edge
100%.
into now it's my responsibility to fully solve this problem correctly, righteously, so that the justice is
I'm
served.
like,
and
I'm
not
like,
gonna say that it was my fault if it wasn't.
yeah, I'm adding
know
emails.
it wasn't, right?
I'm adding emails,
Yeah.
CCing everybody.
But then you're taking up the responsibility to like execute that, Like,
Yes.
one way or the other. It's
investigate
yours.
investigate it for sure, but
Yeah.
that is good though, because that is canceling an order is actually a defect, and we don't want a defect because it'll bring you down to a not top rated seller, and top rated seller is pretty important. And
It is.
yeah, and even Glenn, are you top rated seller plus?
That's a good question. I didn't check. What I am,
Wait, because
actually.
you do free returns.
I was doing.
Oh, it was. You're not top rated plus anymore.
No. He was. Doing
He
free
was
returns.
because we did the math. The 10% savings on your final value fees
Wasn't worth it.
was not worth it to the labels that we're buying, especially if you're buying, $8 label or $7 label.
Yeah.
10 of that is, 70.
But is that 10% the only thing you get, or do you get better visibility too?
Visibility, yeah, but also too, if I'm promoting it, I'm beating anybody. I'm on the top. So, give me the labels for free returns, and I'll put it on promoted listings. I think you'll get more visibility there. Wouldn't
Wow.
you agree? Oh, that's a cool
I
case
don't know.
study.
I mean, I think
So
it's a
for-
good question.
For anybody that's doing free returns, calculate all the stuff that you've paid, right? And then put that money to ad fees and look at your return on ad spend. So put it this way. My
ROAS.
ROAS is
Can-
25 on average.
If you guys had a child, wouldn't it be named Roas?
ROAS.
Right.
We have
That'd
we
be a
have
good middle name.
Anna Roas, Kenneth Roas, Glenn Roas.
I like that name now.
Huh?
I like that name.
It's like a Roas.
Roas.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I remember
So-
my returns were
Little
way higher
flavor.
than you guys.
Oh yeah, let's.
Remember?
We
Yours
gotta go
are-
back. All right,
Yeah,
let's
where
go
are my
back.
returns? Where are my
Let's
returns?
go.
Let me
Let's
see.
go.
Right now?
Let's go
Right
back.
now?
Because Glenn
Okay.
has the highest return,
Really?
and he was doing free.
Because I was doing free returns. I remember mine
Bro.
was like double than what you guys had.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It
Let's
was,
see. Let's see.
it was out of control. And
All
I
right,
was like,
overview.
no.
Let's go overview, and then seller level. Right? Is that where it's at? Yeah, seller level, and return rate. Ooh.
Return rate. Oh, there it is.
I don't think y'all can beat mine.
Is it 0?
I'm just gonna say it because I'm the winner of this one. It's 1.5% return rate, baby.
Mine will not load.
No.
What's yours?
how
I'm gonna
many
find out.
transactions? How many transactions?
So, I returns 22 returns of 1,469.
Dang, that's really good.
22, right? So put it this way. like times $7. So what's that? What, $154 that I paid, right? Because I have to pay for those returns. Those are like fake claims. Item not as described claim. Then I had to pay for that.
Mine is 5.8%. 73 out of 1,259 transactions.
Oh, bro,
Oh my
73 is a
gosh.
lot. That's
And-
like,
No, I think
Wow.
last time, I mean, it's gone down.
yeah,
from the
yours was
last
like
time
what,
we
7 or
talked.
8 or
Yeah,
something
it
like
was
that,
like
right?
7
Yeah.
point something percent. So now that I'm not doing, I only barely started doing not free the last 2 months. I started off
Okay.
this year by doing no more free
No
returns.
more. Okay.
And honestly, it's gone down. I'm actually happy with where it's at right now. I feel like it's, only really meaningful
Yeah.
returns, like if it doesn't fit or something. But I feel like
Yeah.
they were just taking full advantage of that free returns that I was doing for me to get top rated plus. So
I just had like this month I had 2 customers that didn't buy because I didn't have pre-returns. And at that point I gave them so many measurements and to pretty much give them confidence. And I was like, to be honest, I was like, I don't want this customer because you're like you've already given everything. But Anna's probably like 100% returns because it's not loading.
I know. Golly, net. I'm working
Huh?
on it. Return rate. Okay, what were yours again?
Mine's 1.5. What's yours, Glenn?
5.8.
Why?
Kenny.
I want you guys to guess.
Well, that
One.
evil laugh sounded like it was lower than Kenny's.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't
Beating
it?
Ken.
Didn't
yes.
Yeah.
Didn't
Like
it sound a
1.2,
little more like
1.2?
1.46?
Nuh-uh. Is it?
Is it?
All right, I'm buying something from your store.
And returning it? So rude.
1.46. Mine's literally 1.50.
0.04 better than you.
Wow.
I like
Wow.
that.
You flew too close to the sun, Ken.
I know. I got burnt. I should
I
have
got
not
burnt.
opened my mouth.
You were like, oh, there's no way.
There's no way.
No, to be honest though, your return, I mean, it was mine. Mine was the record lowest I've ever seen until you said yours. Now you're the record holder.
What's up? The champion. The one to
So
beat.
what's that? What's the
Transactions.
what's the transaction?
Oh, I think I
Hold on,
closed
it's
it
gotta
already.
load. It's gotta
Mine
load
was
again.
22.
I
Glenn had
know.
70 something. How many is yours?
70 something out of 1,200 and something.
Mine's 22
Mine is
out of 1,500 basically.
mine's 11 out of 752.
Oh, 11. That's low. 11
Yeah,
is
that's
low.
really low. Very.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, if you're listening to this podcast and if you DM us your return rate, we'll send you some. We'll send you screenshot it. No lying. If you guys beat
If you
us,
can beat our return.
no, if
rate,
you can beat
my
Glenn's return,
rate.
if you can beat Glenn's return, that's low. 5%
That
low.
is low. Yeah.
If you
it's
can
low.
beat Glenn's return, you're getting Solid Club merch.
if you can
for
beat
free.
my return rate, then
Oh.
You get a
beat
$25
all of
gift
us.
card.
Oh,
If you can beat
25.
I love
Anna's, you coffee on us. If you can beat Anna's return, coffee on us.
Yeah.
And if you
Plus
can beat
merch. plus
Glenn's,
merch.
you get merch.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
if
like
you're higher than Glenn, you don't deserve anything.
you don't deserve anything.
You need to.
Yeah, if you're higher than Glenn's, then you have a new goal.
Yeah, you have to go.
work on, yeah.
5% is I've allowed 10%. I've allowed 10% when I started.
I'm just hoping it's better from here. It shouldn't go past that.
No, it shouldn't.
So
It shouldn't.
it shouldn't.
Especially. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That's another thing you'll have to keep an eye on as you keep climbing towards your 1,000 jerseys.
Then keep adding more than
yeah, or
there's
like
more at risk there.
yeah, or like more people getting traded or getting hurt on the sports
Oh, I know.
sports teams.
Exactly.
Kyrie
Ouchie.
getting hurt. You have a lot of Kyrie, Glenn?
I did have a jersey that people really, really wanted, and then I never gave
Oh.
in to the low ball.
Oh, the
and then
offers?
Now he got hurt.
Now they're
I only have one
lowballing
on
you.
there.
Now they're lowballing
Now
you.
they're already unwatched, so they're not
People
even...
really wanted it, but only for a lower price.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Did they
For cheap,
really?
for cheap.
Did they really?
Exactly. So there's another
So-
news
Wow.
though that I wanted to share with Ken,
Yeah.
just get his feedback on this too.
Oh.
I mean, and of course
Ooh.
too, but so
I was like,
Whatnot-
I can plug my ears if you want.
No. Go ahead. You can stay. Whatnot has a new category.
Thanks.
Ooh.
I want to see what Ken thinks of. It's called pallet sales.
Really?
So selling a whole pallet.
Yeah.
Whoa. Smart. You know why?
What?
Because people are taking these transactions off the platform.
Yeah. Right.
You know when they say resellers welcome,
Yeah.
and basically they just find them on IG and DM them, and they sell them pallets.
Yeah. Well, the good thing, there's good and bad in this, right? Number one, okay, it's pallets. Can a buyer handle the pallet or not? Some resellers think they can handle all sorts of stuff until they get it, and then they're totally confused on how they should sell certain items, or, oh yeah, I can handle 500 items, and then they get it and they're swimming and
Well,
drowning.
Yeah.
This is
trying
what
to-
this is what a lot of them do. They just put in their garage and they just turn on the camera and just start selling them piece by piece.
Yeah.
Not
Well, you
even
can do
trying
that
to
too.
sort it, right? They don't even sort it. Next thing you know, they've sold the most valuable item at the cheapest,
Yeah.
and not even put their more valuable stuff on eBay or on different marketplace, and they just liquidate everything.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
exactly. So here's the rules though on the pallet.
Okay.
They have to be manifested. So
Oh.
the buy it now will show you, let's say quantity 500 items.
right.
It's
It
gonna
has to
show
break down.
Mitchell and Ness 35 items, Nike 50 items.
But that's still so broad, though.
It
I mean,
is
that's
broad.
better. But that's better.
At least you know the brands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
It's
it
more
could-
like
yeah, it could be
listing
like-
friendly.
Yeah,
at
it'd be
least.
like 100 Nike socks, mismade.
Mismatched socks.
100 individual socks.
yeah,
Individual socks.
yeah, right or left. That is funny.
So they have the manifest of like how many quantity of pieces,
Wow,
and you can just buy it now. So
you cannot auction it.
they're all on buy it now. So at least that I've seen
Really?
so far, they've been on buy it now.
Well, people have to do buy it now because unless you started out break even, because
gonna
like
have to
you
look
would,
into
you
that.
would you would lose money.
Yeah.
This is
Now
super
here's the
interesting.
cool
though.
part though.
Okay.
Whatnot is covering shipping.
Oh,
I'm getting on there right now.
So it's
Well,
free
yeah, I'm getting
shipping
right there.
on all pallets. So they're covering the shipping to wherever they're delivering it to.
all right.
Wow.
All right, I'm buying a pile of iPads. Let's go.
It's not a truckload, but it's something.
So
Let's see.
What do you think
The
about
dollar show is here. I'm bookmarking all the shows.
I think just for
Oh,
the experience, it's worth the gamble to try it. I mean,
Well, it's
depending
not-
on the price.
it's not a gamble because it's manifested ish.
I know, but okay, here's the question. How does it what if it's terrible? Can you return it? How does Whatnot deal with that?
that? That
They
I
cover
do not know.
returns. All right, Glenn, you should buy one
I don't,
For
what
the
am I gonna do with
podcast,
this?
Glenn.
For the
Do it for the
podcast.
podcast.
for the podcast.
I know there's a beauty one. And then we
You don't
do
need that.
know-
You're beautiful enough.
Yeah, we don't we don't need that one.
There's streetwear. I see it.
There's
There's
a streetwear one.
there's a reseller dream. I'm like, man, they're selling
Subjective.
dreams by
totally
the pallet.
subjective.
Yeah.
Like dreams by the pallet.
So
Oh, man.
resellers
That
can't
would-
say there's nowhere to buy items. I mean, you can buy
No.
these items. I don't know if they're gonna work or not. I mean, and
Well,
individual.
I think it's so interesting, right? Because one of the, I know you were only trying to tell Ken about this, but one of the things as somebody who doesn't really use Whatnot that's so interesting is how accessible it has been. And like, I think there are a lot of like smaller sellers who are interested in bulk buying and stuff,
Yeah.
but they don't trust a lot of the the websites that you
Yeah,
can go to
because
buy
you
a
don't
pallet.
see it, right? Like,
Or they
yeah.
don't know how to deal with like, does a truck have to deliver this to my house or whatever? Like, it's like
Yeah.
too mysterious or complicated
right.
to like even figure it out. Really?
Yeah, a lot of times if those companies will require a like a business address,
Yeah.
right? Like,
right.
but this one sounds like This is
Yeah.
like they'll deliver in your garage, right?
I
'Cause
know.
there's-
So
yeah,
I'm
no.
super curious to see what
Hmm.
what
so
all the criteria are
so
like.
guys, there's a stream later. I guess we'll see you there. Oh, tomorrow at 9 a.m. my time, 9:21. So Glenn, you'd have to wake up.
But what
extra
about the
early.
buy it nows? You can't do them until the stream?
Oh, I mean,
Honestly, they did have them. So one of the sellers on here did do the buy it nows already preloaded like 2 days before.
oh yeah, this guy
Oh.
didn't have
But-
it yet. Let me see.
They're probably
With
showing
this
you
seller,
stuff from
yeah,
it.
this seller did actually show
So
them.
it's like a preview. Yeah.
Yeah, like a nice little preview of what it could
Interesting.
be. So I guess you could buy it without a preview and just go all in.
Oh, but the preview's way better because, like, again, to Anna's point, this is your, advantage rather than buying online or like on these websites that a pallet of return Amazon or something like that, right?
yeah,
Like, man, I know this. There's one stream this is gonna be good.
yeah,
know
I
this
think it's
stream.
gonna be good too.
But
You-
imagine though,
we gotta
if,
go there.
if you already know the seller and you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
them enough
yeah.
to like trust their judgment and you already see what they're pricing it for and the manifest tells you enough information about the brands, like I bet a lot of people would trust them enough to just buy it without seeing the preview.
True,
Yeah, I
true.
think so, too.
Especially if you've had a good experience with them already
Yeah.
before, because a lot of this are like the people that are selling pallets are basically streaming and selling out of these pallets. So right, like
Right.
let's say they got 10 of these, and then they can only sell 5 pallets a week, and then they need to get rid of the other 5 because there's 10 more coming next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then this would be
Liquidation.
that liquidating.
Especially when Whatnot's
liquidators-
paying the
the-
shipping.
Yeah, the liquidators are liquidating.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be cool.
All right.
Dude, this
so
is cool.
Thumbs up all around. Sounds like
Yeah,
Emma
yeah.
and Ken
It's
like
like
I
this
mean,
idea.
I'm gonna look into
It's-
this for sure.
The free shipping though, that
Yeah.
is a big part,
Yeah.
and also too, on Whatnot, you can apply for tax exempt.
That's true too.
Oh,
That's true too on the reseller part.
Yeah, so you don't
I
have to
didn't know
pay
that either.
taxes.
Yeah.
I'm learning
So,
so
Anna,
much in this episode.
So yeah, every reseller right now should go to their Whatnot app and then upload your reseller permit or whatever it requires your state, and because I've had it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to renew it yearly, and then I haven't just bought, so I just need to renew it.
Yeah.
But that is money. That is a good, because I'm assuming a lot of these sellers that are here to stay, they're not gonna screw you on the first few rounds.
Yeah, true, exactly.
If they're
Hopefully.
gonna screw somebody, it'll be in the tail end or like the mid end.
In the mid
So
end.
They're like,
because
I'm out.
also too, any new category is gonna be heavily monitored, right?
Yeah.
There's not a million shows right here. There's only like 10.
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So you probably have to be approved to sell in this category.
You do actually.
Right. So you gotta have history. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
So
Let's take a look at these, see how they play out.
yeah, I think that is a good way of upgrading something, Anna.
Wow, what a
Um,
segue.
Oh, she caught
You
it.
didn't
She
even
caught
know.
it. Yeah, no,
Okay,
I
it was
knew
on
I
purpose.
knew
It
I
was
was
on
going there. I was going there.
Well,
So,
I did. I caught it.
Yeah,
Hop
okay,
fly.
there you go.
It's a good
So
one.
Anna, off to you.
Yeah, so we'll talk Merch Madness for a minute. We did our first week of Merch Madness challenge, which was all about, what was it? It was all about eliminating
Yep.
something that is wasting your time or your resources or whatever. Could be anything. And we heard from a lot of people, a lot of things they were eliminating, from kind of screen time or scrolling to unnecessary like subscriptions, to what did I say I was doing?
death pile.
Purging their death pile. Right. Yeah. And for me, I waste way too much time trying to pick which podcast I'm going to listen to when I'm working. So I made myself like cut that out and
A playlist.
just make it in advance and don't think about it and waste time on
Mm-hmm.
it. So anyway, that's a small thing, but it's like a workflow thing that really does hold me up sometimes. So anyway, lots more than that, but just for an example. So this week, our challenge is about upgrading, and really, again, very open-ended. What is something that we're upgrading in our businesses, right? I know we've had the well-worn example of finally getting a thermal label printer after, cutting and taping labels, me and Glenn, for God knows how long. Which we've had thermals for a long time now, but there was a time when we didn't, and then we finally were persuaded to get them at some point. But kind of in that spirit, what's something that you can upgrade in your setup, in your actual tools, or whatever that would help your business to grow and be more efficient?
Or your mindset. Upgrade your mindset.
Upgrade your brain.
And
Bro.
gal, upgrade your brain.
Upgrade your brain. Yeah.
That would be one of the slides. Upgrade your brain.
I would highly
'Cause you
recommend
have to.
upgrading your brain on a regular basis.
Because if you think about it, we have the most powerful computer in our head.
Yeah, it's like more of a electricity meat situation, but I love when it's compared to a computer too. That's fine.
Yeah. Electrified meat.
Electrified meat.
Beefy.
So
Listen,
Glenn,
beefy. Beef up your brain. Yeah.
Glenn. So
Truly.
what can you advise or share about upgrading?
Yeah, or is there something you want to upgrade?
What do I want to upgrade? That's a good question, actually.
Your background.
That's gonna ruin his consistency.
It is gonna ruin my consistency.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been upgrading.
Comes at a cost sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I've been upgrading my items for whatnot. I was trying to get even better items that would bring more people
That's
to
a
the
good
shows.
one.
Like, I was like, I can't
Better
Next
quality.
level.
better quality, exactly. So
Yeah,
I think that
that's
I
really
want to bring
good.
more people in. I can't rely on maybe some of the lower end, cheaper items.
Same old,
you know?
same old.
Yeah,
Right, right.
exactly.
That
We
is
gotta
mix
mix
true.
it in.
That is true. If you want more traffic, if you want more watchers, viewers on your items, upgrade your items.
Yeah. And that
Now,
doesn't
some-
have to mean throw out the ones you already have, just as you go.
Yeah, you don't have to throw it. Just donate
get better and better as you go.
it. Still get rid of it.
So even with some of the items that I brought in, well, for my whatnot example, is that hey, I may not be making a ton of money on these. I might even break even. I don't really know until it sells. But at least it's bringing in new people. You
Right,
know?
right. That's
those
good.
new
Yeah.
first time buyers. So even having just new items, new eyes, it just kind of refreshes that. So
Yeah, I mean that's what Buc-ee's do. They give you cheap gas so that they could sell you their beaver
Nuggets
for
And brisket.
$50. Yeah, for $50, right? That's
And the roasted nuts.
that's what I'm gonna
Exactly.
recall. I'm gonna rename
And the
them to-
Bohemian garlic jerky. So good.
Oh, I'm gonna rename that stop to 50 Buc-ee's.
You gotta spend at least $50 each
Yeah.
time.
Easy every
minimum,
time.
Minimum.
That
50
is
Buc-ee's.
hilarious.
You know how they call have you heard call Starbucks they call them $6?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's 50 Buc-ee's.
There you
I
go.
like that.
I mean, I
That's
think
it.
that fits.
That's fit. Alrighty,
By
guys.
the way, Starbucks is coming out with a falafel pocket. Did
Oh.
you know about this, Glenn?
I did not.
Oh,
I don't know
Glenn-
if it's
Glenn would be
vegan,
all over
but
it.
I love falafel, and a lot of falafel is vegan.
Okay, so let me
Yeah, most of them.
I have to give that a
I'm
shot.
crossing my fingers.
So
Yeah. What are you upgrading?
that was a great episode, guys. Make sure you follow
Ken,
us.
what
on
are you
Instagram.
upgrading?
Oh, I'm upgrading to the next episode.
He's cutting it. He's ready to go. on the
What
next
is
one.
wrong with us today?
I'm upgrading to the next episode. I'm just joking. Oh, like I shared earlier, we are upgrading our inventory system.
Yes,
So I
true.
bought some racks. So make sure you follow me on Instagram because I'm about to share the transformation that's gonna happen. I bought
Awesome.
some racks and upgraded my bin storage system. We haven't gone to the labeling yet, but they're in their place. Our upgrade is no inventory on the floor. So it has to be on a rack or hanged or inside a bin because it's so hard to find one-off items. So we have bins that are one-off items because those are way harder. We just found one-off that was in the bottom of one bin.
You're like, oh,
Yeah. So
there it is.
so that's a upgrade. Upgrading our inventory system. So maybe I'm 2 racks short, but it should be done. Our goal is to get it done this month. Cause come summertime, I just want to be selling. That is the goal.
I like That.
So
Seller summer. Okay, I'm upgrading. Let me share. I want to shout out two of our reseller friends who are awesome. I recently ish upgraded my whole photo booth situation thanks to a recommendation from Liz O'Kane from Colorado Reworn. I got basically the same one that she has. It's like the same kind of dimensions and stuff. Man, it's been awesome. It has been a game changer. And it was totally worth it. It's a little more expensive than what I had before, but it's totally been worth it. And then the next person I want to shout out is our friend Angie from Angie's Go Green Surplus, because I'm probably going to be upgrading by virtue of buying something from her eBay store. My shipping computer is literally 10 years old and
scrolling.
it is just so slow. And I'm just like sick of, wasting seconds in between every step.
Yep.
Like it's
Yeah.
getting, I actually have already not been using it. I've just been using my regular computer because it's so much faster. So I'm going to have to replace my shipping computer soon, and I want to get a refurbished one from Angie. So
Yeah, that is smart. I actually was eyeing on a monitor, and I accidentally almost bought it through Instagram. There is a thing there like buy or purchase, and I clicked it, and it sent a notification to her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then apparently she has to approve it. I was like, how does this transaction go through? And I was like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Well, you'll
and
have
then
to just go to her eBay store.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, you can. And then now I watched that through her eBay store, and then she just gave me a seller initiated offer. It's like I don't need it. It's a want. It's like a 49-inch monitor, so it's like 3 monitors in one.
Yeah.
So Glenn might need that.
That's amazing.
Okay,
I mean, I love it though. Like, support your reseller friends. I love to shop from
Very
my friends.
reliable. Yeah.
it's
Refurbished.
awesome.
Buy refurbished for sure.
100%.
That's a good upgrade.
We'll
Let me know
love
which
to
one
hear...
you're getting.
Yes, I will. I will. And I will love to hear about everybody's upgrades, because there's a lot more to it than just like stuff, right? Like you can upgrade your brain, you can upgrade your inventory, and you can upgrade your stuff. And probably more.
Exactly.
That is true.
All right, Ken, you can wrap it up now, I guess.
Oh yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram, and make sure you follow our sponsors, eBay for Sellers, and make sure you join all the seller community meetups in your area. All of that will be linked. Just go through the eBay community through eBay, and also make sure you follow Seller Ledger. Get your books right this year. That's all I can say.
Yes.
Make it easy, and make sure you're gonna be upgrading something in your business this week. See you on the next one. Peace.
See you.
Goodbye.